Hey everybody, I'm Kurtenbach. Welcome to Staples Center in Los Angeles, and welcome to the DeMarcus Cousins era of Golden State Warriors basketball. If Friday night was the baseline, we are in for one hell of a show between now and presumably June. I would normally give you three things off of this game. We got one thing to talk about. We're talking about number 0, DeMarcus Cousins, all three. Here's the score, by the way. Not sure if you noticed, the Warriors won 112-94. Stephen Curry had 28 points. Kevin Durant had 24. Really nice game for Draymond Green. He only had 7 points, but he keeps filling up the box scores, same way he always has for the last couple of weeks. Really, really good game from the Golden State Warriors. Really, really good 15 minutes from DeMarcus Cousins. Let's start with this. Cousins played 15 minutes and he fouled out, so clearly he was a step or two behind. But in those 15 minutes, he was often the best player on the court for the Warriors. And he was sharing the court with Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant, who both had really good games. That's not fair. It's simply not fair. I called it a dream debut for Cousins in my column on the Mercury News website. This was everything the Warriors could have expected and more. He was never going to come back and be 100% and be able to play 30 minutes. This was really, 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 really good. And this dream debut is the rest of the NBA's worst nightmare, because everything that they said in the summer, I'm talking about the 29 other teams, I'm talking about the national NBA media, everything that was said over the summer about how it is cheating, essentially, that the Warriors got Cousins, that they are ruining the league, that they're breaking the game, all that stuff. In those 15 minutes on Friday night, it sure looked like they were right. Cousins, again, just a cheat code out there. Let's go over some of the details and nuances. So he starts the game. He was tired after about 3 minutes, has a huge dunk. The entire bench is going crazy. Everyone really excited for Cousins, knowing that the challenge of coming back from an Achilles injury. Let's not forget, a decade ago, maybe even less, this kind of injury ends the career of DeMarcus Cousins. He comes back and he plays, but he's never even close to the same. He looks, what we saw on Friday night, that's as good as he'll maybe ever look. And this is the baseline. Again, he's only expected to get better from here. I was told 2 to 3 weeks he should be in good enough shape to where he can play 30 minutes a game. So that challenge of coming back from that, starting it off with a big dunk right down the middle on a Kevin Durant pick and roll, good vibes all around. It was bad basketball for the Warriors, but good vibes all around. The second half is when things started to get really interesting, because obviously the foul trouble limited his minutes. I think conditioning was just as much of a problem as the foul trouble. Second half, he's playing at the beginning of the third and the beginning of the fourth. And this is the rotation. He's going to play at the beginning of the first, second, third, fourth. He's going to anchor the second unit, and he did a wonderful job doing that on Friday night, but he's also going to play with the starters at the beginning of the fourth, and if he gets back into it a little bit more, he might be closing games. We'll have to wait and see. But this is the rotation for now, and in the beginning of the fourth quarter, after he had worked on the low post in the third quarter and was really working over both of the Clippers centers who were ill-equipped, Marcin Gortat, who's just washed up, if we're being totally honest, and Montrezl Harrell, who's not big enough to bang with Cousins, who's 6'10 and 270 on the low post, they put in Boban, everyone's favorite player, the 7'3" Boban. And Boban is not fleet of foot. But instead of Boogie just going into the low post and banging with Boban down there, he just stepped outside the three-point line. And he knocked down back-to-back threes, and that essentially ended the game. And it's a highlight of what kind of talent DeMarcus Cousins is. And if it only gets better from here, that's stupefying. You'll have to forgive me. I almost forgot how good DeMarcus was. This is a guy who averaged 26, 13, and 5 last year in New Orleans before his injury. He was a supernova. And he showed again spurts, glimpses, flashes, whatever you want to call it, of that supernova talent again. And he's playing in a system that just could not be better suited for a big man who can do it inside and out. Defense I thought was pretty solid as well, but the fouls and being slow, it all adds up. This is it. I mean, this is everything. Again, the Warriors thought that they could get. There's really not much more to say. That they will be favored in every game for the rest of the year. They are now far and away, if they already were, but it's even further now, the favorites to win the NBA title. I can't see another team in the NBA, and I am very high on the Bucks. I think that the Sixers are a fascinating team. I think Oklahoma City's a good matchup against the Warriors. There are a lot of teams that might have been closing the gap, and the Warriors just opened up the gap in a big way again. 6 months to go between now and the NBA Finals. a lot of time for stuff to come off the rails. No doubt about that. But again, if this was the baseline and he's only going to get better from here, it's game over. And frankly, it might be game over if he never improves from this point on, if he only plays 15 minutes a game, because he shored up two things that the Warriors really needed to shore up. They now have an anchor for the second unit. He is absolutely that. There's no question in my mind. And they have a guy who they can run the offense through in the low post. They can take away some minutes from Kevon Looney and take away center minutes from Draymond Green. It's game over. I'll see y'all in June.